Larry Fox. I'm the CEO of the Values Group, and if one goes on the internet, you may see various videos, and one of the taglines is, "We do damn good business plans." Um, and that's kind of fun. What is a damn good business plan? Everybody says strategically that they do the best there is. They'll kiss every customer on the lips. And so what we'll do today is talk about the reality that no matter what bank you go to or what alternative source you seek to find funds, as Beth mentioned, you're going to need a business plan. We got into doing business plans when I ran companies. I never claimed to be smart, but that I bruised very easily. I did things the wrong way and eventually figured out it's much less difficult if you answer people's questions up front. Some of the taglines, a good business plan is like a sidewalk. You see it, you know what it's for. What we really did is simply develop a style of creating a business plan that responded to the due diligence list of lending institutions and investors. The due diligence list is always going to be virtually identical no matter where you go. Some may list the requirements numerically, others may do it alphabetically, and some do it 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, but the information they require is always the same. And I discovered in running a company that if you could simplistically, if you will, tell the story, a truthful story, then people didn't have questions. The kiss of death to anyone applying for funds is someone calling up with 30 questions. They've already decided your history. So why not deal with it up front? How do you do that? Well, every good business plan that we've ever seen, a opportunity is for a product or service. We get calls sometimes from people who've been in business for a number of years, and they will say, "That's the dumbest thing in the world. I've been in business 40 years. There's an opportunity." Well, how many of you remember IBM making mainframe computers? Have you seen one recently? So simply telling someone that you've been in business for a lot of years doesn't mean that there's a future opportunity. And if you're going to ask for money, whether it's in terms of a loan or in terms of an investment, whoever gives you that money expects to be repaid or create a return on investment. And so they have to know what the future is and why. And in the same regard, the third part of a business plan is your pro forma or econometric model. People went crazy with the development of computers, Excel spreadsheets, and actually think if they give someone a plethora of numbers that that's going to excite the reader. The reader knows that Excel will make the math correct. The addition will be accurate. The subtractions will be accurate. And the sheets are virtually worthless. Why would I say that? Because in today's world, they want to read what your assumptions are. That's the trigger point for what the numbers mean. And those assumptions have to be reasonable. How does a reader determine that you've been reasonable? Well, first, you've developed the opportunity. Second section of a good business plan is having proven that there is a market opportunity for what it is you're doing or wish to do, is do you have the team capable of taking advantage of that opportunity? You can't tell anyone that you can create millions and millions and millions of dollars of sales, but you've got one sales employee. It won't work. So as you develop the story, the reader becomes involved with you and believes you or doesn't believe you. One of the biggest problems that we have is that frequently people will come to us and they expect the business plan not to reflect facts, but the dream. And we'll try to explain it. The dream is strategic. It's great that you want to conquer the world. A good lending institution, a good investor wants to know how you're going to realize that dream. So a good business plan is more tactical than it is strategic. Because the minute you've told me how you're going to be strategic, it simply becomes a given. I have to know how you're going to do it. Very unexciting. A tactical business plan. Here are the steps. My world changes completely. I often talk about this. A couple of years ago, what got an A as a business plan if we were in school would get an F today because the market has shifted. How people analyze your business plan is different. For example, we might have listed previously when it came to the team, here are the people, just boom, and these are the 10 marketing steps they're going to take. In today's world, a lending institution or an investor wants to see exactly what you mean so that you no longer can say, we'll network. They're going to say, with whom? How much time? How much money? What are the results you expect and why? Again, all of that goes to supporting that your assumptions are reasonable. Then finally, and this may sound strange to you, we've had a series of clients that developed successful business plans. Successful in the sense that they got the money, they created the capital. We always tell people a good business plan should be much more than a device to raise capital. It should be a management tool, an on-demand management tool for accountability. I would tell you, and this may surprise you, that 50% of the people that we've represented that have gotten the money don't follow the very business plan that they created. And I would also tell you that the failure ratio runs exactly with those who can follow the plan they created and those that don't. So in closing, I'd like to tell you that I really wanted to talk more about knee surgery today than business plans, but my panelist wouldn't let me.